right, everybody. Karen Roby here with Tech Republic, talking today about digital transformation and what that looks like for different companies. And Chris Newsome is the Director of Infrastructure for Hendrick Motorsports out of North Carolina. Chris, thanks for being with us. When we talk about digital transformation, it can look like and feel like so many different things depending on the industry that a company is involved in. So take us through, for you guys, kind of an overview of the digital transformation that you've had to go through, what that's looked like.
Well, first of all, thanks for having me today, and for the viewers out there. Technology of any sport you're watching today, football, basketball, baseball, it doesn't matter. Technology is playing a big part, and it's been a big part of, especially the racing industry. Our sport, it's technology totally drives what we do today. So starting back in early 2000s, our sport was using pen and a pencil, a lot of a paper, and talking with not tablets, but notebooks and things like that. So no technology involved whatsoever. So our digital transformation really started in the early 2000s. So, we were the first team to do wireless connectivity at the racetrack. We were the first team to do satellite communications at the racetrack. It's all about being leading edge of technology, rolling out laptops, just trying to make our, the crew chiefs and their engineers more productive back in those days. So we're going to fast forward because, if anybody, especially our viewers that know this sport, there's a lot of changes constantly going on in NASCAR. And so every year, our environment is just constantly growth from not only as employees, but the technology growth. So we're going to fast forward up to 2015, where the sport started making some major changes. Yes, we're still using the same technology, satellite communications, but first time in the NASCAR history of the sport, they were letting us gather data off the race car, and that data was engine data. So that just changed the whole format of how we had to handle this business. So real-time data coming off the car, so that means engineers at track want to see this information real time. So obviously we got to make a lot of changes from a technology standpoint to make that happen. And then, okay, we're receiving data off the engine, so we got people back at corporate who want to see this data also. So there's more changes. There's a major transformation on how we get this data back to corporate. And you got to remember, at this time we're dealing with, small bandwidth using satellite communications. But as that adjusted, hey, over the years, we're making it work because Hendrick Motorsports, one of the top racing organizations in the world. Through all this time of change, we won 5 championships in a row. How many sports organizations can say that? I think like 7 championships out of 10, 11 years. So very successful. So, but the major change came about. And we knew this, we work with a lot with NASCAR, so another change is coming. They are opening up. Not only were you receiving the data off the engine, the NASCAR around 2017 says, we're going to open up the car. And what I mean by that is we could gather data off this car from one end to the other. Now I'm exaggerating a little bit, but I mean everything from, in-car camera, any kind of data we could retrieve. So this said, we're talking digital, we're talking video, we're talking pictures. So the transformation of, okay, our data just doubled, actually probably tripled. How are we going to communicate? How are we going to transmit this data back to corporate? Not only that, the data, for the individuals at the racetrack. So, and also during this time, NASCAR's making changes to us, the growth and the amount of people we take to the racetrack, there's 100 plus people. And there's a certain amount of people that's allowed to, say, work on the car, has the ability, they call it the crew. Anybody that has can lay hands on the car, make decisions on the car, as part of that crew, and there's a certain amount of people that is. And that includes my IT staff that we send to the track every single weekend. So part of these major changes in NASCAR, they started reducing that number of people. So not only now we have that smaller number of people at the track making these decisions. So that means part of our major transformation is we got to share information. We got to share this data, no matter where they're at. We've got individuals, there's 4 race teams and there's 4 separate rigs, what we call race haulers. There's an RV that uses a mobile data center. So no matter where we're at, we are constantly sharing this information. So obviously, sharing this information means getting it back to corporate. So all these individuals who used to be at the racetrack, who NASCAR again to make these changes. So the engineers that used to be at the racetrack, now they're back at corporate. Hey, we won't see this information. We've got to see this information. Plus, too, at the same time of all these changes at track, we're making all these changes at Motorsports. So, I mean, in-house at Motorsports, we have all different type of technology where we're gathering information. And so we're constantly, with 70 plus engineers on campus, they're always looking at ways to make the cars run better, faster, setups. So not only are we sharing this information from track back to corporate, now we're sharing this information from corporate back to track. So it's just been, online constantly. There's no, we're always, from a technology standpoint, we're all about being at the leading edge of technology. And so trust me, this transformation that we're going through caused us to, make major changes as an organization.
So Chris, yeah, you've definitely covered, why it was necessary, why you guys needed to go through this digital transformation, and talk a little bit about the importance of some of the vendors that you've had to partner with and how that has helped move things forward.
We cannot do this without our partners, our technology partners. And some of our key partners during this whole transformation was Microsoft and Ricoh. We started working with a division of Microsoft, and, hey, all this data we got, Microsoft came on board, and then with working with them and using the Azure cloud services, well, that helped us right there to be able to move this data around and helped us roll out Windows 10, Office 365, along with artificial intelligence, machine learning. So that was great help to us. Other key partner in helping us get to where we wanted to be was Ricoh. We met Ricoh through a project helping us with our print management, but Ricoh had a lot more to offer.
Yeah, Chris, so it sounds like you guys have made some really great changes and have gone through a number of years here of big changes to respond to what's been going on in the industry and with the technology that's been available to you guys. And I'm sure that you're seeing much more efficiency as well.
Yes, we are. And with all the changes, we're prepared. I mean, we planned on for 2020 season. I mean, we knew that we were going to struggle a little bit, and 18 and 19 due to all the changes we're making and young drivers, things like that. But, so we're very excited for the 2020 season. Everything's working great. Working with our partners, the collaboration environment is awesome. So, for 2020, we're excited. We want to get back to where we have been in the past. Our goal every year, we come to work every day, 600 employees at this campus, to tell you, hey, we have one goal in mind, and that's win championships. So I'm really looking forward to this year, and hopefully by the end of the 2020 race season, we will be celebrating a championship with our technology partners.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we certainly wish you the best of luck to you there, Chris. And thanks for sharing your story with us. Really a rich technology story from where you were, where you are now, and what's to come. So much more on digital transformation, of course, can be found on our website on Tech Republic. Thanks for watching.